What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Tim Reviews Everything and welcome to Step One Finance. I recently had someone reach out to me and ask me about Cup Soccer. On my Step One Finance channel, I have talked about this in the past and they were asking me, why I didn't like it. They just said, oh, you just said, the overall number. Can you please give me a little bit more details of why it costs so much? And I said, you know what? I'll do a review on it. And then I was like, there's going to be so much numbers involved that I'm going to put it on my Step One Finance channel too. All right, guys. So right off the get, you're going to go for a tryout. You can try out for multiple teams that are in your area. And you do have to pay a small fee to try out. You're talking 10, 15, 20, 25 bucks around there per club. And then, guys, if you're trying out for a really good team, the chances of you making that team are probably going to be slim unless you're really a good soccer player. If you're trying out for a club that is hurting for players, which in our area, I'm in Pennsylvania, it seems like a lot of clubs are hurting for players right now, you're probably going to make the team. So you make the team, and you can either pay your fees up front or you could pay them monthly. They usually give you around 8 months. The season starts in the fall. So the spring season that's coming up is a continuation from the previous year, the fall league. So June are usually tryouts in our area. And then from fall to spring is the completion of the season. And you also get training in the wintertime with your fees. So guys, the average fees around here are about $3,000 a year. So if you want to pay monthly, it's going to cost you around $375 a month for 8 months out of the year. Pretty much a car payment, guys, with 4 months off, and then you got another car payment coming up. $375 a month if your fees are $3,000. There are fees that are higher than that, $3,500, $3,700. I even know a club around here that their fees are higher than $5,000. So guys, it is very expensive. And that's just the fees. Now you got to pay for your uniform kit, which they usually get a uniform kit every 2 years. I mean, makes sense though, right? Your kids are growing. They're not going to be wearing their uniforms forever. But that uniform kit costs anywhere between $350 to $400 plus, depending on what club you are for and what it all entails. It's usually uniforms, book bag, all that stuff. They get the whole get up, warm up suit, practice uniform. They get it all. Okay. So you're spending about $400 every 2 years for uniforms. And guys, on top of that, you're usually running about 5 tournaments a year. A couple of them are going to be close home, so you don't have to pay for hotel fees, but usually 3 of them are out of state or within a distance where you're going to need a hotel room for a couple nights. Well, another great thing is that every time you go to these tournaments, the hotels double their prices that weekend because they know it's a busy weekend. Usually you're averaging a little over $300 per weekend. And if your team makes the finals in these tournaments, usually it's on a Monday. It's usually running around a holiday weekend, so your kids aren't going to school Monday. But you have to pay for another night of hotel fees. So guys, but the average weekend around $300 to $320, right around there per weekend trip. And you're doing 3 of them a year. Not to mention gas. We always budgeted for gas and that. You're looking at gas for every trip. Guys, they're usually around 4 to 4.5 hours. So, you could spend anywhere, depending on your vehicle, you're looking around $100. If you have an SUV, that's $100 easy. If not, a little bit over $100 per tournament. You also got to feed yourself. Okay. So unless you're packing a car full of food, you're eating out while you're there. And depending on the size of your family, that could be anywhere between $200 to $300 plus per tournament. And you're not going to get away with going to a tournament without buying your son or daughter a tournament shirt. And guess who else wants one? Their brother that don't even play. Because that's what happened to us. So you're spending at least $100 on tournament shirts every time you go to these tournaments, at least. Because you're probably going to buy one for yourself too. At least $100 for tournament gear. And then just your general soccer gear, guys. Shoes are expensive. I put this around $100 a year on average, depending on if your kid needs new cleats that year or not. If they don't, then maybe you're getting away with not buying so much gear. But, soccer balls, shin guards, water bottles, the water bottles get pretty nasty real quick because you're using them a lot, or they lose them, they forget them. Soccer cleats, it all costs money, guys. I'm on the low end on that, probably at $100. Not to mention tons and tons and tons of your time, okay, as a parent. A lot of your time, okay? When we played, like I said, guys, I'm in Pennsylvania, and it is not easy to find a soccer field, okay? So we traveled 45 minutes to an hour sometimes to go for practices that are 2 days a week, sometimes 3 days a week, for practices, okay? And sometimes we went, and it was just a side field off of a school. Okay, it's just a crappy area to play in. You're paying all this money, and that's where we got to go. I got to, you know, I'm not even counting that gas money in there, guys. You know, so I'm not even counting the gas money that you got to pay to, you know, for all your travels to home games and all that. All of that $100 was that I was saying was tournaments. So you could chalk up a lot more to just traveling with, you know, home games and practices, etc. Not to mention that the fees, guys, every year, 2 years, your fees are increasing. So it might be $3,000 one year and it might be $3,200 the next year. And they're always going to have an excuse why they got to keep up in those fees. Usually it's something about the fields. You know, no field, so we got to pay more. So guys, the total for all that, and I didn't even, you know, I could even make this higher. So the total for all that is $5,550. That's everything I named in this video, okay? Over the course of 8 years, if your kid would start at like around 10 years old and play until they graduated high school, that's around $44,400. Okay, so before on my videos, I said anywhere between $6,000 to $8,000 because I know when I did that budget, I was budgeting everything that it was costing me to play that game. So there is no doubt in my mind, I am not far off. It is between $6,000 to $8,000 a year. So you're looking at $50,000 to $60,000 for the course of 8 years to play cup soccer. Like I said, a college tuition. So what's a better alternative to playing cup soccer? Travel soccer, school soccer, and a new thing coming up, which is similar to soccer, but it's not, which is futsal. My daughter plays those three. She plays travel soccer, school soccer, and she plays for a competitive futsal team, which is a lot cheaper than cup soccer. So that's what she does. Guys, believe me, we heard about it when she first stopped playing. That's probably one of the hardest things is either, guys, if your kids aren't into it, unless you have money, don't do it. If you're wealthy, then knock yourself out, you know, because to me, that's a wealthy person's sport. You know, someone that has a lot of money to dump on their kids. There's people that have 2, 3 kids in this that, you know, can't afford it, but they got them in there, you know, because, you know, guys, believe me, my daughter's happy. She was mad at first, but she got over it. So, you know, you get better coaching with cup soccer, but is it worth all that money? No, I don't think so. And they say that there's a better chance of getting a school scholarship through cup soccer. Guys, I say slight, okay? Slight chance of getting a better chance of having that school scholarship for your kids. So, like I said, guys, my advice, pick an alternative, travel soccer, school soccer, and futsal. And honestly, you know, you would be better off just getting them private lessons on the side. It'll be a heck of a lot cheaper than paying this cup soccer fees. I miss it. My daughter misses it, but it is what it is, guys. You know, I am not going to break the bank so my daughter could play a sport. It's just not going to happen. It's just insane. So guys, that's it for today. I know I'm going to irritate some people with this again because I got some friends that are heavily into cup soccer. So, you know, it's my opinion. It's all it is my opinion. So I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.